Here we come to worship on God's terms, a thoughtful meditation from TableTalk Magazine that gently but firmly reminds us that drawing near to a holy God is never casual. Rooted in the sobering lesson of Nadab and Abihu from Leviticus chapter 10 verses 1 through 3, this article invites us to lay aside invented approaches and listen carefully to the way God Himself calls us to worship. With reverence, clarity, and pastoral warmth, it turns our eyes from creativity to obedience and from preference to glory, teaching us again that true worship begins with God, not us. Now for our reading. Then Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, each took his censer and put fire in it, put incense on it, and offered profane fire before the Lord, which he had not commanded them. So fire went out from the Lord and devoured them, and they died before the Lord. And Moses said to Aaron, "This is what the Lord spoke, saying, by those who come near me I must be regarded as holy, and before all the people I must be glorified." So Aaron held his peace. Leviticus chapter 10 verses 1 through 3. In 1544, John Calvin was asked to give a defence of the Protestant Reformation to Emperor Charles V. At the heart of his answer was a single conviction: if one should ask on what things Christianity chiefly stands, the following holds first place: that people may know how God is rightly worshipped. According to Calvin, the chief reason for the Reformation was right worship, worshipping God as He desires to be worshipped, and refusing to approach Him in ways that He has not commanded. That truth lies at the heart of the sobering story of Nadab and Abihu. These sons of Aaron entered God's presence with strange fire, an offering which He commanded them not. Immediately fire came from the Lord and consumed them. The fire that had consumed the sacrifice on the bronze altar 1 chapter earlier now consumed the priests. God's verdict was clear: among those who are near me I will be sanctified, and before all the people I will be glorified. This episode confronts casual approaches to worship. Worship is not primarily about us. When we worship through Jesus Christ, the new and living way, we enter the presence of a holy God. In the Old Testament, it was only by God's initiative, through sacrifices, priesthood, and covenant, that Israel could draw near. New covenant worship is likewise a meeting with the living God, though with less outward glory. See Westminster Confession of Faith 7:6. You have come to Mount Zion and to the city of the living God. Such a privilege demands reverence and awe. It also warns against flippant worship. A holy encounter with a holy God is no casual meeting in which we set the terms. God's holiness is not to be trifled with, for our God is a consuming fire. Notice that Nadab and Abihu's sin was not that they offered something explicitly forbidden, but that they offered what God had not commanded. God need not tell us every way that are not to worship Him. He simply tells us what we are to do. God regulates His worship by His word. He tells us how He is to be approached and what we are to do in His presence. To invent our own ways, however creative or sincere, is to offer strange fire. Liturgical novelties come in all different shapes and sizes, but they all have one thing in common: God has commanded them not. True worshippers, Jesus said, worship the Father in spirit and truth. A right view of God must shape the way that we worship Him. Reformed theology leads to reformed worship. As we study theology and grow in our understanding of God, may we be renewed in our zeal to worship Him rightly, according to how He prescribes. And let us marvel anew that the King of glory desires to meet with us and to dwell with us, as He is our God and we are His people. Reverend Aaron L. Garriott is managing editor of TableTalk Magazine, resident adjunct professor at Reformation Bible College in Sanford, FLA, and a teaching elder in the Presbyterian Church in America. He is author of A Word Fitly Spoken, A Theology of Communication. This concludes our reading. Thank you for listening.